everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, good to see you. We got a special surprise for you tonight. Avenging Wind will come through and do some things like this. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello everyone, my name is Nose, and our featured artist for today is Avenging Wind, also known as Fathom 9.
Hello.
Can you tell, how long have you been doing music?
Seriously, like with the intent on making it a career since around 95, 96. There was a local production company here called Trio Productions. And the guy that was over that company, he's no longer, with us. But his name was Reginald Brunson, so I signed to a production deal with Trio, and I was going under a different name then. It was IQ. And so that was like around the time that I was taking it very seriously. Like I was doing shows, and I wasn't really getting paid for shows, but I was just, nobody knew me, so I had to kind of get out there and get exposed. And it was interesting doing shows in Memphis because people were used to a certain sound. So nobody ever booed me, but they just be like, what was that? Like, it was, they had this look on their face like, what just happened? So that was before the Fathom 9 days. I ended up changing my name because there was a poet here by the name of IQ. And one time we were at open mic, and so I put IQ on the list. He put IQ on the list. And both of us went up to the mic at the same time. And I was like, nah, I gotta change my name because, since around 95, so I'm in the neighborhood of knocking on 2 decades real soon.
So are you originally from Memphis, since you talked about your style of music?
I am originally from Memphis. My influences say otherwise. That's another thing about Avenging Wind. Avenging Wind kind of takes more of a blues influence, which a lot of people hadn't really gotten into. Like a lot of people do jazz, of course, and jazz is, I love jazz, so it's clearly one of my influences. But blues is, something, that's Memphis. Yeah. Jazz was born in New Orleans, blues was born in Memphis in the Mississippi Delta. So I am from Memphis, and the blues element is pretty much the most influence I take from the music. A lot of people outside of Memphis feel that you come from Memphis, you're supposed to sound like a certain way. A lot of people in Memphis feel like you come from Memphis. Excuse me. You're supposed to sound a certain way, and I just make music. I don't care about all that. I don't care about all that.
So in a sense, you said, you try to sound a certain way. Is there an artist that you identify with the most, that you can say that you sound similar to?
I will say what other people say I sound like. I always get a Pharoah Monch comparison. I always get a KRS-One comparison. Sometimes I get a Busta Rhymes comparison from the stage presence, because I get.
We got a chance to see something.
Right. But yeah, those are the 3 cats that I always get compared to. Now, interestingly enough, I would say that if I had to take my 2 polarities, which is Fathom and Avenging Wind, I would say Fathom 9 reminds me of Coltrane, and Avenging Wind reminds me of Miles Davis.
What inspires you to create your artwork?
I create from a place of emotion. They say you tend to create more when you're hurt, when you're angry. I do create from that space a lot. It used to be like I would, somebody would break up with me or I break up with them, and I'd be like, well, I could write a song off this. You know, it would just kind of be automatic, like, you know, just to be able to channel it. I create from, you know, social issues that make me feel a certain way. Overall,
I want to talk about your latest project. It came out November 5th of last year.
November 5th. Dump Truck Blues.
Can you tell us about it?
Dump Truck Blues is my first attempt into moving into what, I don't know, some people call a new category of music. I call it the new blues, and blues ain't nothing new. I call it a new blues because I think music needs new narratives. Said before. So when I made Dump Truck Blues, I didn't know what it was going to sound like. I knew that I couldn't write it as Fathom 9, and that was the most difficult part. So I had been writing these songs for months, and I get to the halfway point, and I'm like, I sound like myself. And I can't sound like that part of myself. I have to sound like something completely new. So I had to give birth to a whole new personality. And it's like an actor or an actress, you know, playing a role. And, you know, if in your life you're known as the lady next door, you know, the nice, you know, I bake cookies and shit. You know, in the movie, you got to be, you know, that bitch. You know, you just got to be that evil
villain.
Villain. And then it's just like, you know, you have to pull something out of yourself to channel that. Mm-hmm. And so it's the same process with, you know, being Avenging When I had to scratch everything I did, and I rewrote the entire album and recorded it in the course of 8 days. And that was, I think I slept for like 2 weeks after that. Yeah, it was
honestly exhausting.
Man, yeah. And my roommate, you know, she's on the album as one of the singers. We call her Cookie, because you know she's doing a lot of background singing and stuff. And we actually did a collaborative piece on the project, the Danger joint. But there would be days I would be like, I don't feel like doing this. You know, I'm tired. My brain, my creative juices are just dry. And she would curse me out. She'd be at work. She'd be like, nigga, we got a studio date at 10 o'clock tonight. I get off at 9. I'm coming to the house to scoop you up. You better be ready. Like, had a song done. And so, like I would get cursed out like every other week. It'd just be like, yo, nigga, you know, stop being a lame ass. I'm taking a nap. When I wake up, we're going to the studio. You know, like I turn to, you know, Joe Jackson on nigga, man. But you know, but yeah, I didn't know how it was going to sound. I knew it couldn't sound like everything else I did. And when people listened to it, there was a review out there where the guy said he made the mistake of listening to it expecting Fathom 9. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to tell you what to expect. I'm just going to say, don't expect Fathom 9. And he did, and so he didn't like it at first. Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of one of those things where he listened to it again and again. He was like, yo, this is probably one of the most creative projects I've heard all year, you know. And November is a weird time to release music because everything is pretty much shutting down or gearing up for the holidays. Yeah. So, you know, if it were a release where I was like, you know, I'm doing this to try to get selected for a Grammy or whatever, which will never happen. But, you know, if I were doing it like that, then I wouldn't even be selected or you know, considered to be in that category until like the spring of next year. So November is always weird. I have a kid named for November 5th. You know, I know it's your birthday. Yes. But like this whole, you know, V for Vendetta thing, I'm a fan of V for Vendetta. So my Revenge of the Nice Guy album came out on November 5th of 2011. So this one drops November 5th, 2013. And so I'm kind of, you know, that November 5th thing. This year I'm try to do at least 2 joints, 2 projects. But it's Dump Truck Blues is me being free. It is the subtitle is Battle Cry of the Wanderlust. So it's Dump Truck Blues, Battle Cry of the Wanderlust, because if you think of a wanderlust spirit, you think of some person who just wanders about, who's free and does whatever they want to do, goes wherever they want to go. You know, just not really inhibited by rules or restrictions. So I wanted that. If I could have something tangible that I wanted the album to represent, I wanted it to be that. I wanted it to be a symbol of free expression. Like, I'm an MC. Occasionally I sing. I want to sing more. Fine. Sing, nigga. MC and sing. Do some spoken word. Do some erotic spoken word. You know, just like whatever you want to do, right? And it freaks people out when you're free like that, because they're not used to it. They're not used to, in themselves, they're not used to being free. They're just like, you know, they're rigid. People are mad rigid here in America. It's like they have these desires and they hide them, you know, and then when they think nobody's looking, they'll express it. You know, it's just like, why? Just be who you are. Be happy in that space, you know. Fuck anybody judging you. You know, just do what it is that you feel right, what feels right. So that's what Dump Truck Blues is. It's just saying, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I wanna do. Avenging Wind could be a woman for all anybody know. Like, I like kind of how it's, you know, people kind of assume it's avenging, they assume it's avenging. It could be opera, it could be rock, folk music, Appalachian, blues, you know, it could be whatever. And it, you know, it probably will end up being whatever. But it's what I felt hip hop music was getting away from. Because in my opinion, hip hop music was like that last space where everything came together. And so when the industry got involved with it, it was like, okay, we're going to dictate what hip hop music sounds like. So you have this division, and it's a division within a division within a division, because you have artists who are underground who want that mainstream notoriety and will do whatever it takes to get it. You have artists who are more underground than they are, who are against them, you know, because they want to be mainstream. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be mainstream. There is something wrong when you make mediocre shit, you know. I don't care about you selling records. I want to sell records. Everybody wants to sell out, as in the stores, you know, sell out concerts. But I don't want to sell out my soul for the sake of, you know, making buku money. I want to be comfortable doing what I love to do. I think everybody will be fine with that. But yeah, so there's that division within a division within a division, and hip hop music was becoming very boring to me because you have to do this or you have to rock it this way. You gotta have a hook that has this many bars and this many measures. And it's like when an old dude who was a sharecropper picked up his guitar or went to the piano, they would just play. I want that. That's simple. Let's just play some music. Whatever comes to mind, wherever the spirit pulls us to express, let's do that. And let's not put no borders on it. It can go as wide as it wants to go. That's it.
Where can you find it?
You can find it in my backpack. You can find it you can find it on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, mp3.com, eMusic. There are a plethora of sites you can find it on. And I would like to add that the newly launched AvengingWin.com is up. So links, yes, finally. There are links on there too where you can easily get it. So, yeah, I'm very happy with that. So, I'm not as tech savvy as I am when it comes to websites and stuff. Let somebody else do it. But no, I'm very happy to finally have a working website. And you guys should come by AvengingWin.com and see some, we're still getting some content on there. Hopefully, we'll have some more live footage of me acting a fool on stage and everything, so people can check it out. And hopefully soon I will be coming to a city near you to act a fool with you. So, yeah. AvengingWin.com.
Alright, we'd like to thank our special guest, Avenging Win. Thank you.
Peace. Take it easy.
Trying to box with God. Niggas sell their soul for the platinum game. We got rappers saying that they ain't changed his name, but they pain his skills to weakness exposed. Who would have known what he asked for? Told top of foe. You know who the foe that you can't contend with. Comprehension, vocal mentions. What's your intent? Diligence to the white son, seek repentance. Not to mention, you niggas want to back and stand and tall CDs and stores. Preach to the white on the lazy hole. When I heard the yard, so I made the call. Nigga, you ain't hard. All too short, even box with God. You ain't hard. All too short, even box with God. You ain't hard. All too short, even box with God. Let alone pretend and contend with the master. We prep it out, bring lose to disaster. You ain't hard. All too short, even box with God. You ain't hard. All too short, even box with God. You ain't hard. Yeah. Let's do this church style. Twisted, no insignificant gifted, man with a boldly listen. Got to A-on, got to play something that was made run for the exit, for their guns, for their crew. I really don't care what you can do. When it's all said and done, the manufacturers the moves and move for the you to do. When it's all competition surpasses you, most of the fans that ain't having you. You was a man that be after you for the tiny jewels that adore your neck. But I know right, you were going up no disrespect. Keep it set, gotta let go with your entourage. Working with the clubs on your overalls. First left what they can stars. Exclusive bars, big ball, hard to your heart, don't let it tell you otherwise. If he trying to play a game, we gon' reach to a great differential. Ready to run, you shot and reach. Hell was part of the praise and payer. Tries to turn his amazing player. Top their head to a billboard. So I saw in his hole. What? Nigga, you ain't hard. All too short, even watch with God. You ain't hard. All too short, even watch with God. You ain't hard. All too short. disregard, let alone pretend to contend with a master. We breath in hell to bring news to disaster. Yeah.